Hey Diva, ¿cómo estás? Can you hear me?
Sí, sí, sí. Yes.
Awesome. How are you doing?
All good. Sorry for the delay. It's been kind of late with the previous interview, so
Oh,
I'm
that's
running
okay.
all the time. Yeah.
It's okay, no problem. Thanks a lot for joining me. That's an honor
Thank you.
having you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh yeah. I had Eleni Nota here some years ago. Saw you posted some
Ah,
pictures together in the Anchor concert. I believe it was in Madrid.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. It was a great show, of course. I mean, Anchor deserved the world. They have been working for many, many years. And about Eleni, what can I say? He is one of my favorite persons in the entire world. I love her very much. She's one of my best friends, and I really love what she does as a musician. It's one of my favorite drummers as well. So yeah, it's amazing to see her playing live and enjoying the shows as much as she's doing now.
Awesome. Um, all right. Bloodhunter is going to China next month, 15 year. And
Yeah.
how are the expectations? How is it like to be in China? It's not your first time there, right?
Yeah, we've been in China last month of October, so it's been like 6 months since our last time there. And yeah, the first time we went with supporting Infected Rain, and we played with another Spanish band, which are good friends of us, Astray Valley, which I strongly recommend you to check it out.
Awesome.
And it's been like it was like a short run, it's been 4 dates in China, and then we had like a show in between in South Korea, and then we ran to Japan for another 3 shows, and that was a blast because it was a very first time in Asia. And yeah, the shows in China were crazy because people just go there. They don't care about the music genre. They just want to have fun. It's amazing to feel that energy because we are so different. But in terms of the music scene, we are so close. For example, with Spain, because you can feel the energy if you go to a show, but it's very difficult to have many, many people supporting the local bands. If you have like a foreign band, everybody goes there. And I think China is opening a bit to the world, and every time they have like a show like this with many foreign bands, they go nuts. It's like cycle pits all the time. It was amazing because we played in huge venues. We had like 2,000 people, something like that, and everyone was really enjoying it. So our expectations for this next time with Ginger, which is a huge band and a huge
Yes.
influence for all of us, we are pretty sure that this is going to be sick.
Do you have time to hang out there or just hurrying all the time?
I think we don't have many time there, but we're gonna play at some cities that we've visited before. So, for example, Shanghai or Guangzhou, we played already there. And this time we have 2 new cities that we never visited before, which are Beijing and Yantai. So I really hope that we have like at least some hours, to go for a ride and enjoy the city.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So let's begin. I have an introduction question.
Okay.
I want to get back to the very beginning. I want to know how you got into music, if you had any family influences, how you became a metalhead, and how did you learn how to sing?
In my family, nobody likes rock music at all. They are super traditional. Actually, my sister is like 15 years older than me, and she loves like, salsa,
Yeah,
those kind of
Spanish.
stuff. Yeah, Latin stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, actually, even with my friends, it was difficult because when I was like 12 or 13 years old, nobody was into rock music either. So I just discovered like this talent show that we have here in Spain, super close to The Voice and X Factor and all that stuff. And I remember there was a girl singing Living on a Prayer. And at that time, I thought, like, wow, I never listened to anything like this before. I want more. And I started to dig into the record stores because we didn't have, like Spotify or this kind of stuff at that time. So I just got into music thanks to the musical magazines, asking to other friends, going to the stores to buy some records without having an idea of what I was going to find
Yeah.
inside of that album. So I just grabbed one of them and I thought, okay, the cover looks good. I've heard about it, so let's give it a try.
The
And
cover was a lot important back in the day.
yeah, it was like, okay, this is too pink. I don't think this is gonna be okay for me. So no, but yeah, I had, my all my different eras about this because I started to get into the hard rock music first, and then I just traveled to grunge and with bands like Nirvana, Alice in Chains, all that kind of stuff. And then I felt like, yeah, I want something faster and angrier, and I ended up listening to some extreme music like black metal, death metal, all that kind of stuff. And yeah, I mean, it's a process. First time I've heard growls, I felt like, oh my God, this is horrible. I don't like this at all.
That's the first
But
impression for everybody, I guess.
it's not something beautiful at all. So the first time you just I don't know, it's more than being surprised. You're panicking because it's like, what the fuck is this? What's happening? But I always say that this is like watching a horror movie that you don't want to watch what's going on, but in the end, you want to know. So you start closing your eyes, but then you start opening a bit like, okay, I'm scared, but I want to know more. Right.
Yeah, that's a
And
great definition. Yeah.
yeah, for me, it was like that, and same with some of my favorite bands. For example, with Guns N' Roses, as a vocalist, I pay a lot of attention to vocals. And to me, Axl Rose is one of my favorite artists of all times. But the first time that I've heard Guns N' Roses, it was like, no,
It's a
I don't like
weird.
this guy. Yeah. But then you get used to it, your ears, your brain need to get used to it. And yeah, that was my trouble. And then in high school, I started to approach people with similar musical taste, and that was kind of easy, because when you share with someone like you, it's much easier to do this kind of exchange, like, hey, check this out, I love this one, what do you know? And we started to hang out with other people, to attend like local shows, and that was the early days. And from there, Danny Arcos, which is a founder member of Bloodhunter, already was playing, I don't know, in 5 different bands at the same time. And he had this project like with no name and no singer because he has been working with many different musicians at that time. And he knew that I was a big fan of philosophy, occultism, extreme metal at that time also. And he asked me if I wanted to write some lyrics for one of the songs. And imagine, because I had no musical, studies at all. I've never been into an academy or a music school, and I was totally self-taught. So I had no clue what to do, when writing lyrics for one song. But I tried, and he was very patient with me
Hmm.
because he just gave me the chance, and he was working with me step by step. And finally, I joined them in the rehearsal room, which was terrible because I was not able to sing for more than, 20 minutes. And I spent the entire rehearsal looking to the walls because I was so ashamed of myself. They were like professional and everything, and I was like just an amateur. But from there, I just tried to search for some vocal lessons and stuff that allowed me to learn and develop as a vocalist. And I think, yeah, that was how everything started.
Yeah, awesome. All right. And you, I forgot what I was gonna say. Whatever.
Sorry, I talk too much.
No, no, I was taking notes in my mind, and then I lost all of them. And I have a question here about Nervosa, sort of,
Hmm.
of an overview, because we've already talked a lot about it in other interviews.
It's okay.
Yeah, no, it's okay, but I'm trying to get a different perspective.
Okay.
I want to know a bit about how was the period you were in Nervosa and how much it changed or helped you evolve as a musician, and which
Hmm.
lessons you feel you learned from all of it.
Of course, it was like for me in the beginning, it was like the dream come true, because at that time, this was like 2021. I started to speak with Prika, and I had the first meetings at that time, and she told me about the situation of the band, and he was searching for some people just to rebuild the band, the lineup, and she wanted people like committed to the project, because the band is her life. So I felt like, okay, this is perfect for me because, of course, I've been playing shows for many years, but I've never been on tour for more than 2 weeks, and that's my favorite part of the process, being on the road. So for me it was like a romance at some point, because it was like nice, I can finally plan how to quit my job, to focus on music at all, like 100%. And the first 2 years it kind of worked it out, but this is kind of difficult, because to make it, like music your main source of money to sustain yourself, to pay the bills, it's very difficult at this level, because you need to spend a lot of time on the road. Money is not so good. You need to work really fast to be able to have another album, to keep on playing shows, because when you play for 1 year the same album, it's old. So you just need to spend all your time working for the band, even if you're on the road or not. You do a lot of interviews, you have to do a lot of press releases. It was very, very amazing, I must say, because I've learned a lot, not only about music, but about this industry. But it was tough, because at some point I had to choose between everything that I loved apart from this band, and I lost a lot of opportunities that I thought that would make me grow as an artist in many levels. And I started to feel like this is not going like I would like to, you know. Being on the road was important, but I lost many things that I really appreciate. And that made me think like, okay, maybe this is not what you was searching for. It was a nice first step or a nice first approach, but yeah, I had to think again about what I was looking for, and also in my last months in the band, my family situation was terrible, because when I was touring Latin America with Nervosa, I found out that my mom was really sick, and she was diagnosed with cancer. So I remember that I just played the last show. We took the flight home, and I just went immediately to my parents' house, and I spent with them some days off. And then my mom got surgery. She went into the hospital, and finally she died. So that made me think a lot about, life is too short to be doing something that you're not enjoying anymore. I needed to be honest with myself, but also with the band. And as you know, many people just left the band because we just, you just get in with this idea of how this work, but finally it's kind of different sometimes, and that's not somebody's fault. It's just the situation. You can work super hard try your best, and finally things are not working as good as you thought in the beginning. So um, another thing that was very important for me, it was that I still had my band, which was Bloodhunter, and I couldn't play for 1 year, only, I don't know, 5 shows or something like that. So the guys started to talk to me like, hey, this is very nice, we're very happy for you, but we need to keep on working. We just released an album that we cannot play live because you're all the time on the road. So you need to think about what do you want to do, because this is not good for us, and you need to choose. And finally I was, collecting these different things, like, okay, maybe I should just quit and think about the future and what I want to do next. And that was it. I think sometimes you just feel the hurry of going there. This is what I want, and I just want to grab this chance. But sometimes you don't think really if that's good for you, if that's good for the project that you're working with. And yeah, I think that's what I've learned, that you need to think carefully, to talk with the people around you, to think about the whole situation, not only about your own wish. And yeah, that's, I've grown up since then.
Yeah. About recording and writing songs and everything, how was
Mhm.
you before and you after Nervosa? Do you think it helped you learn more about it?
With Bloodhunter, for me, it's very tricky because it's super technical, and it's not easy for me to write the lyrics because, of course, I don't need to think about melodies because I'm not a clean singer. I'm a melodic singer, but you need to think about the rhythm. And if you don't know music, if you don't have any idea about rhythms, notes, and all that kind of stuff, it's kind of tricky. And with Nervosa, it was something like, just bring it to me, just feel the music and sing something. It was not, everything didn't need to be so planned as with Bloodhunters. So it was like more natural, and I've learned to just think about think about the music, feel the music, write something, and then we will work with it until it fits to the song. But with Bloodhunter I cannot do that, definitely, because it would never work. So it's very different, the entire process. I mean, of course, we all have many different projects and stuff, and jobs and everything. And we just use our free time to work for the band. And that's a totally different state of mind, because you get up and you have to do a lot of things, and then you have like 20 minutes and then you start writing something, or you have the time to rehearse for the show of the next month. It's not so funny in that at that point.
Um, get into this same subject. There is an observation you did in another interview in the past
Mm-hmm,
about how bands are touring a lot and there are so many concerts happening that very few of them are actually sold out. I thought a
mm-hmm,
lot about that from a Brazilian perspective. In my
mm-hmm,
city, we have like 10 big concerts per month, and we barely have
mm-hmm.
money to pay for one ticket.
Yeah,
Uh,
same here. Same here.
I watched Ginger in December, and it was not sold
Wow.
out. And Ginger is
Yeah,
it's a very big band.
it's
So,
huge. Yeah.
so how are your thoughts about the music industry nowadays? Do you think anything changes in the last few years?
I think the pandemic situation, of course, changed the game because we were locked up for many, many months. And the feeling, I think the general vibe was like, okay, I just want to go to everything. But that's not realistic because people don't have so much money, or not everyone have so much money. So you cannot pay, I mean, even the cheapest of the shows, it's 20 or 30 euros. If you want to go to 5 shows, it's a lot of money. And
Yes.
if you want to buy some merch and go for a drink and stuff, it's not easy. You have to pay the gas to get to the venue. I mean, it's a lot of things to think about. And I don't think it's worth it to have so many shows happening at the same time, because people just are forced to decide, where should I go, you know? And I don't know, for example, summer festivals are a good solution for many people, because you just pay the ticket once and you see 200 bands, and you discover another 200 more, and you just saved a lot of money. So I think people, it's just taking this option, because it's not easy for everyone to attend everyday shows. It's like going everywhere, every night to a show. It's not realistic. I mean, we live in Madrid, and here it's the same. You have like, I don't know, sometimes you have three shows the same day, and there are people like working for magazines and stuff that are able to attend the three, and they all say like, none of them was so loud, because people just have to choose where to go. And that's bad for the industry, for the bands, because the prices just go higher. They don't have enough money to tour, and it's like a full cycle. So, of course, from the band's perspective, I've been there. I've been touring, 2 months in a row, and it's tough, of course. And at some point, the shows are not good anymore, because everyone is wasted, and that's not worthy for the audience. That's not worthy for your health. I don't think, uh, you know, I don't think that's the way to do anything.
Yeah, I hope things change in the future. People realize that we don't have that many festivals here in Brazil, and the ones
Mm.
that we have are usually in São Paulo, so it's a bit hard to go to.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it would be nice if any country, I mean, not everyone can have this, but for example, Latin America, for example, is the Mexico Metal Fest, and then you have the Rock in Rio. I mean, you have like many options, and just maybe concentrate that into summer. No tours at that time at all, and then yeah, yeah, because this is not sustainable, and I mean, at some point everything will explode. Like, okay, there are many bands, many musicians quitting from many years ago, with a huge career. For example, the other day I've heard about the Elubeitia singer, that he was like one of the founder members, and he just stepped out of the band because, I don't know, for his own reasons, but it's like another sign that everything it's kind of difficult, even for the people that have been part of this industry from many years ago. We will find a solution, of course, because we are just survivors, and we all love music, and we just want to keep this alive. But I think we really need to think how to do this, because this system is not working anymore.
Yeah. All right, let's talking about something nicer now. You guys are coming to South America very, very soon to play a couple of good concerts, especially in Brazil. So yeah,
Yeah.
how are the feelings about it?
I think coming back to Latin America and coming for the very first time with Bloodhunter was like my goal in
Yeah.
life. I really loved Latin America when I was there, and especially Brazil, because people just opened their arms to me, and I felt very loved. And I really wanted to bring a Bloodhunter show there, because it's very different, of course, to Nervosa, and many people cannot like it, of course. But I think they are gonna love it, because we are, like very energetic. We are very passionate. We have a lot of groove, and I think that works very good. We are Latins too, so I think that connection is there. And yeah, I think it's gonna be fantastic. Also, our best bass player, Fabs, he's Mexican, so he's living the dream, because he's coming back after many many years, and he will have family there at the shows, and it's gonna be amazing.
Yes. And you speak Portuguese very well as well.
Not very well,
Yeah.
but I'm trying. It's kind of I forget a lot of words all the time. I try to practice, but it's difficult, because I was born in the northwest of Spain, and we have our own language, which is Galician,
Yeah.
that comes from Portuguese. So yeah, the base it's kind of similar, but yeah, of course, some expressions and everything, and the accent has nothing to do the one with the other. So yeah,
That's very interesting. Didn't know about it.
yeah. That's why it was kind of easy for me to try to do many interviews with Nervosa in Portuguese because I just learned basic stuff and that was it.
Do you remember the last time we were here with Nervosa? I think it was your last tour,
Yeah,
maybe.
yeah. That was my last tour with them. It was 2022. And actually, the last shows were in Brazil, I guess. So, yeah, the last show actually was in Sao Paulo in Audio with Crypta, Behemoth, and Arch Enemy. So it was the perfect ending.
I remember you played in my city here. That was the day that Bolsonaro was elected.
Oh yeah, I remember that. That was a huge mess. Yeah. We were in the hotel rooms like, oh my God, the street is on fire. So it's gonna be difficult to get into the venue, but finally nothing happened for us and or for the fans. So yeah, but it was pretty scary.
Didn't go there because of that. There's a lot of drunk people with
Yeah.
guns.
Very dangerous. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I think Eleni quit this tour or the tour before. I remember she was in the
Yeah.
flyer, but I knew she had already quit the band, so she wouldn't be there.
Yeah. Actually, I was the only one from that lineup that came into Latin America because Mia also stepped out some months previously to that tour. And I mean, we did a previous tour in Europe, like the second leg of the European tour in August, already with new members. It was only Prika, myself, and Elena Cotina and Nano Villalba on drums. And after that, we just head off to Latin America in September until November. And that was it. That was my last thing with them. Yeah.
All right. Next one is a question that I asked to Eleni Nota, and the answer was awesome. So I'm gonna do that to you as well.
Oh, I
Uh,
feel the pressure.
I know in the past you used it to work as a psychiatric nurse before you became a musician. I want to know how you managed to make a living with music, if you have any other part-time jobs or full-time jobs. And I think it's interesting to people to get to know the artist a bit more in real
hmm
life.
Yeah. Actually, I'm still working as a psychiatric nurse. I mean, when I was with Nervosa, the first year, I still had my job because obviously I had my savings and all, but we were not able to go on tour because that was in the middle of the pandemic situation. So I was working and I used all my days off to play a couple of shows, to record the album, to film the video clips. But I've been always working all my life since I was 20 years old. And I was living on my own since then. Now I'm 36 years old, and it's been my last 15 years like living entirely by myself. So I think very carefully about what's my situation in terms of money speaking. So yeah, I've been only 1 year and a half only working as a musician, because I didn't have enough days off to combine my daily job with this. But of course, I wanted to live the experience, like just to know for a couple of time how that felt. For Eleni, it's totally different because she has been always a drummer. I mean, she studied music, she studied drums, piano, and more stuff since she was a child. that was not my situation. I just went to high school and university and everything,
Yeah.
and this was more like a hobby for me. Of course, my main goal has been always like having the most success that I can have in the music field, but that takes a lot of time because I've never been working 100% on that, and that stops you a bit to go farther, you know.
Yeah.
But, but I feel it's okay because during the pandemic situation, I just got this idea about you need to have a another plan just in case, you know.
Of course, things shit happens.
Yeah, and I saw many musicians just working in different fields. You know, for example, Nergal from Behemoth, he has a lot of different business like a barber shop, clothing store. They are not working entirely only in the music scene because it's kind of dangerous and it's not very stable at all, you know.
Yes.
That happens only for, I don't know, two bands maybe.
So just for the biggest ones.
And not always because, for example, I don't know, butcher babies, they have side jobs when they're not on tour because obviously when you're not on the road, you need to have a strong fan base on Spotify and everything to earn enough money to keep you up for the entire year. It's not very easy, you know. So yeah, I mean there are musicians that just teach music at some music schools or they have side jobs, but it's very difficult to find someone that doesn't have anything else.
Could you explain a bit about your daily job and what you do as a nurse?
Here in Spain, being a nurse is kind of interesting, let's put it that way, because when you're studying, they prepare you to do everything. You know, it's not like, okay, I'm gonna work with, I don't know, um, plastic surgery. No, you just get trained for everything. You can be in surgery from a heart attack, and tomorrow you have to work with kids. It's crazy because you don't really learn 100% about anything at all.
So wild. I think graduation is also about that. Unfortunately.
Yeah, yeah. So with the time, of course, as a nurse, you could, you know, like study something more specific to work only at one field. And I chose mental health or psychiatric issues because I was always like felt very um, attached to this kind of stuff. You know, it's all this mystery about the brain, why we think this way or the other, how this is organized inside of us. That's a mystery. And yeah, you know, there's a romantic side in all of this, which is helping people who are suffering, you know. And at my current job, I have the chance to work with kids and with adults as well. And I'm learning a lot from kids because kids who are struggling with difficult families, with school, with bullying and stuff like that. They are having a rough time and they just need, like, you know, 5 minutes of your attention and they feel much better. So that makes me think, like, what's going on with society at all? I mean, um, we just go thinking about ourselves, we just think about our own issues, but we don't pay attention to the others, we don't help anyone. That's sad. And I think with this kind of work, I feel like I'm doing my best and I'm trying to help as much as I can. So when I got home after one of my days of, you know, talking nonstop and doing therapy groups and giving medications and everything, I just come home like happy, you know, because I gave my best at this place. I helped, I don't know, 5 people, but it's okay. And I'm not thinking about quitting, you know, probably having like some special permission to go on tour and everything, but quitting for a long time, it's not on my mind nowadays, I guess, because I think this is something that makes me feel very good. So the I think the best scenario would be like combining both, like having some time here and some time there. And yeah, that's it.
That's a beautiful job.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
It's nice to have a job that makes you feel better.
Yeah, this has not been always like this. When I was 10 years younger, I just want to be the rock star and
Yeah.
go on tour and live the life and everything. But then you realize, okay, I had enough fun. It's okay. That was it. And now I need to focus what I want in my life, and being on the road sometimes is just very consuming, because you're living like in a different universe. You're not in living in the real world anymore because you just get up at noon, you do the loading, you start doing the sound check, you eat something, you prepare for the show, you do the show, next day again, and you don't have to think about another stuff like you're far from family, you're far from the problems of real life. So it's been like in an oasis at some point,
Mhm.
and I guess Alisa from Arch Enemy wrote a song about this. Like I think House of Mirrors from the previous album speaks about something like that. And when I find out about this, it was like, wow, even for someone like her, this feels very similar to me. So yeah.
To end this interview, you released a new song with your new project, How You End, called
Hmm.
Same Blood. Could you talk a bit about
Hmm.
this song and about the video?
Yeah, I mean, this project started actually during the pandemic situation also. So we've been working for 5 years and we were planning to release an album, but finally the record label just decided to release it only in Japan. So we have an entire album waiting to be released, and we decided to just even some drops from it. Like we had three previous singles with video clips and everything, and Same Blood was just like the last drop, and it's an anti-war song. Of course, we are very aware of what's happening in the world lately, and we just wanted to show that we don't agree with that, and as musicians and also as persons, we feel very sad about how everything it's being managed by politicians. So apart from that, of course, this feeling of men killing each other, it's horrible. We are in this century, we have a lot of technologies and everything super uh, you know modern and all, and we still think like in the second century, killing each other for power, for money. And yeah, it was like a flag to raise to the people that feel the same way.
Sometimes it feels we didn't evolve at all.
Of course. Yeah, that's it. So yeah, I think we've been talking during these days about working on a new album, maybe, or maybe just more songs. We don't know about the future because this was like a side project for musicians from other bands, and everyone is focused on other stuff. But I feel like super honored to be part of this because they are, my heroes. You have like Tom Nauman from Primal Fear, you have Jem Majura from Evanescence, Jake E from Syra and Adele Larson, um, Mitch Coons, which was a producer and the man behind the scenes. And I've loved to work with these people again because they are amazing people and amazing musicians.
Is there any chance of a live concert or something?
We played one show like in 2022, I guess, or 23, at Rock House Festival in Germany. And it was amazing, like that was surreal for me to be with these people on stage, even only for once. And I really hope we could play more songs, more shows, but it depends on the general agendas because, of course, Tom Nauman is not with Primal Fear anymore, but he's working with a new project. Jen is working a lot, doing many stuff for many brands and other musicians. And of course, Syra, the band of Jake and Nader, is touring and working on a new album. So it's not easy for any of them to be thinking about touring with a different project. But who knows?
Maybe. Yeah, thanks. All right. Thanks a lot for joining me. That was a pleasure and an honor having you here.
Oh, thank you so much. My pleasure. It was very fun. So nice to meet you, and I hope we can meet each other next time we're coming to Brazil.
Thank you. I would like to send the last message to the people that will be listening to this interview in the Doom community.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here with us, sharing, and I really hope to see everyone at one of our next shows. And I really hope this year Bloodhunter can go everywhere. And yeah, this is gonna be like my wish for this 2025, and I think we're pretty close to making it happen. So see you around.
Thank you very much. Bye bye.
Thank you so much.